We'd like to calculate the mass percent of each element in ammonium sulfate. So you know that ammonium sulfate is a compound that consists of two ions. The ammonium ion with one positive charge and sulfate ion with negative charge of 2, right? So in order to make this a compound of neutral charge, you will have to have two ammonium ions per every sulfate ion, right? So it means that we would have NH4 plus, and you're not going to put a 2 in front of it, right? Because this 2 would also pertain to the sulfate as well, and you don't want that, right? So you will put the parentheses and you will put a 2 subscript, and then you will follow with the sulfate ion normally like this. Okay, so now that you figured out how to write the ammonium sulfate, you need to calculate the mass percent of each element in this. Right, so first we will take the molar mass of this, because we're going to need it. Right, the molar mass of ammonium sulfate is going to be, so there are two nitrogens here, two nitrogen atoms, because the subscript pertains to N. Right, so twice the formula mass, right? Twice the atomic mass of the nitrogen, which is in the periodic table as 14.0067, plus 8 times hydrogen, because 4 times 2 is 8, and hydrogen is 1.00794, plus 1 atom, okay, 1 atomic mass of the sulfur, which is 32, using the periodic table again, and then finally 4 times the oxygen atom, right? So 4 times 15.9994, right? So this is equal to 132.15052 grams per mole. Okay, so that's the molar mass of ammonium sulfate. So now we're ready to find the percentage of each element, the mass percent, that is. So starting with nitrogen, we know that the formula mass here is going to be twice the 14, right? So twice the 14.0067 dividing, now this is grams per mole, right? Because that's the molar mass, right, of this of the nitrogen in the compound, right? So that will be divided by the total molar mass of the entire ammonium sulfate, right? So 132.14052 grams per mole. So notice that these units will be then cancelled out, which they should be, because we're only talking about percentage, right? And you will get an answer less than 1, less than or equal to 1, so which is why you have to multiply it to 100% in order to yield percentage. And if you use your calculator and round it to the make it to 4 significant figures, you will get this 21.20% nitrogen. Okay, and that's the mass percent of nitrogen in ammonium sulfate. Now the percentage of hydrogen is done the same way. You will take this and divide it by the total, as usual. Okay, the units are cancelled, multiplied by 100%. Using your calculator, you will get to 4 significant figures, 6.102% of hydrogen by mass. Now the next one is the sulfur. 32, this number, 0.066. And I'm not going to write grams per mole here because it's just a waste of time. Well, you know that it's going to be written, but I'm just going to write the numbers. 132.14052 times 100%. And your calculator will give you, to 4 significant figures, 24.27% of sulfur. And lastly, the mass percent of oxygen atom. So that's going to be this number finally, 4 times 15, 9994 over 132. And notice always we're using the molar mass of ammonium sulfate each time in the denominator, right? Because we're trying to find the mass percent of each element in ammonium sulfate. That's why we always divide by the ammonium sulfate molar mass, right? So 132.14052 times 100%. That gives you, to 4 significant figures, 48.43% oxygen by mass. Hope this was helpful. Thanks so much for watching. See you in the next video.